All right. Good morning, everybody. We're going to take a look at a couple stocks this morning. Just kind of finding some areas of the market we like. Obviously, the trend for the overall market has been down for a very significant. Whoops, got my sound on here. For the last 10 months or so, market trying to come off the lows right now is the S&P 500 we're looking at right here. But as you can see, we're butting up against a declining 50-day moving average. We're still well below a declining 200-day moving average. So until we get back above there, the higher probability trade tends to be on the short side, meaning there's just going to be more opportunities to short or bet against stocks. I'll show you a couple that I like as far as buy stocks that could go higher, but there's a lot of opportunity on the downside as well. So I want to kind of walk through my approach to short selling in this market, and I'll show you a couple that I think could be good short opportunities. Now, in the middle of a bear market, it's just declining lower. You look for those that are trending lower, and then kind of sell on bounces up to either a downtrend line or a 50-day moving average or some kind of resistance level. When you're looking for stocks to turn and become new shorts, often the strongest names of the rest of that year will become the weakest names once they fail. So in other words, you get a stock's made a big run up and it starts to roll over and fail and can't rally and breaks down. These are the ones that can accelerate down very, very quickly. And if you go back and look at 2020, the end of 2020 and 2021, you go look at your Peloton and you go look at your Zoom and those stocks that made 400, 500, 600% runs. They're the ones that are the best shorting opportunities once that run was finally over. And so take a stock like Privia Health. It's done very well this year. It's actually advanced, climbed more than 100% in the middle of this bear market. Well, look what it's doing now. It's come, it can't rally. It's forming, this is what I call a shelf where the stock, it's out here, where the stock will run up and then just kind of form this shelf here. And when it breaks down, it's usually a pretty good place to get short. So I think PRVA is a good short opportunity right here. And one way to look at that is simply to invert the chart. If you saw this, it would look like a great stock to buy. So it seems to be a great stock to sell. PRVA. Other previous leaders, Celsius Holdings, CELH, just is another one that did very, very well in 2022. The stock went from, call it $50 or $40 to $120. So the stock tripled in a bear market. And then look where I've drawn a line here across the chart. The index is up, see where we're at. Look at this line across the chart here. See how this white line, and I'll make it maybe dotted so you can see a little bit better. See how this was support, 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 support. And then as soon as it broke it, it's resistance, resistance, resistance. That's where you want to short sell this stock. So it's broken down what was support. So when it bounces up in here, you want to sell the stock short or buy a put option, whichever you prefer, and then put a low risk stop loss. So if I got short the stock, let's say 93, I could put a stop loss at, really not that much higher up here, 97, 98 above the 50-day. You're risking 4 or 5% on this stock to see if you can get a pretty solid move down. And look, a stock that has tripled this year could easily fall 30, 40, 50%, still be well above where it opened the year. So it has a lot of room on the downside. Okay, I'll show you a couple others, previous leading names that are now beginning to show weakness. Lantheus, ticker symbol LNTH, the biotech stock. This thing was a monster in 2022. Again, you'd have no idea we were in a bear market. Look at this chart. It just would not quit. And then right here, look at the behavior. See how smooth it was up, only no more than a couple down days in a row. Look at this pocket right here. Suddenly, the stock makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 down days in a row. It hasn't done that the entire year. It cut through the 21-day, the 50-day, no signs of coming back. This is the signs of institutional selling, meaning large funds, mutual funds, hedge funds, et cetera, are selling this stock. They're no longer supporting it. This is now a short. So we actually got short this stock in my Alpha Stock service right here at $76 and then covered it down in here for profits. And do we have a crystal ball? No, but what was support often becomes resistance. So here you had a level. This is the breakout level, it was holding, broke out, and then bounced. And then once it got below it, now it's going to be resistance to the top side, and it's sold off. So again, you're getting pretty close in here. I think if you get the stock right here, 75, 76, $77, probably a decent place to get short this stock out of a buy stop right up here around $80. So you'd be risking, $3, $4, $5 per share on a short trade that could easily fall $10, $15, $20 to the downside. And that's really what it's all about. We're always going into these risk first. We're looking at how can we get a trade? We can risk very little to potentially make a lot. And if I've got to risk 15, 20, 30%, it's not a trade. It's not that I'm interested in. I'm always trying to get odds on my money. NEP is another one. Now, these tend to be even better when they are below the 200-day moving average. All right. So if you look at this chart, see this white line is a 200-day moving average. Now notice it was resistance here, held, broke out, and then up, fighting, and then rolled over. So there's your line around $76. Now NEP is still a little bit below that. It's about $73. So do I think it's going lower? Yes. But I sell it short here? No, because I want it as close to this level as I can get it. So I want to sell it short between probably $75 and $77 right in this area right here, right between the 200-day moving average and the support resistance level. And then my stop loss will be right over here on the other side, or my buy stop, excuse me. That makes sense to everybody? You're just kind of looking at critical areas. And the tough thing about shorting stocks and selling them short, the best time to sell a stock short is when you do not want to. You will not want to sell the stock short when it's time to, because it'll be up 4, 5, 6, 7 days in a row. You're like, oh, it's finally turning around. It looks strong. And that's when the suckers come in and buy, but it's really the best place to sell short. And so for NEP, that would be a move right up here to $75, $76 a share. That's where I'd be looking to get short that stock. And NextEra Energy Partners, an alternative energy stock, their group that was really strong this year that is now beginning to roll over. Look at a little biotech called TMDX. Take it back. This may not be a biotech. It may just be a medical supply company. It is. They do portable warm blood perfusion systems, whatever that means. So this one's still a little early, right? It's still pretty strong. It's still up above here. But to me, I think the trade here is short. You don't need to risk a whole lot of money. I think you can take it short here on TMDX at the breakout line. You'd only need to risk, 5, 6, maybe 7% on the stock. See if you can get a short entry, but it's still a short right in here, looking for it to come down, retest these lows, and potentially break them. So if I'm taking this, I'll just walk you through how I would take this trade. I would do it something like this. I would say, all right, I'm going to sell short. And that just means bet on the stock to go lower. So sell to open right here. Okay. My stop loss will be above this little swing high right here. So I would place a buy stop. Painting this out for y'all so you can kind of see what we're looking at here. So you place a buy stop market order right there. I mean, if it goes up there, I want out, I'll take the loss. Okay, you'd be risking about 8% on the stock, 7%. And then I would have targets to buy it back right around in here. So we'll try to cover half the position of profit down there. So if I enter short here, I'm risking, 7%. I'm trying to make about 16%, which is just over half. I mean, just over double what I'm risking. If I got to cover half here, I would then bring my buy stop down to break even. So I'm no longer risking any money in the second half of the trade. And then I would be trying to sell the full position right down in here. as it approaches that 200-day moving average, which would be, so I'm trying to make 15% on half. I'm trying to make, 30% on the other half. So I'm risking 7% to try to make a blended 22, 23, right? I'm trying to make 3 times what I'm risking. That's how I would do that trade. That makes sense to you guys? So we're going about it risk first. How do we risk very little? What are some likely targets? I want to cover half into this little pocket of trading down in here where the stock is likely to run to. And then my next target will be down here near the 200-day moving average. A couple others, keep an eye on the short side, ARRY. This is a solar stock that was doing really well. They actually make the mounting systems for solar panels that go on like rooftop commercial applications. Mouse is done on me here. Anyway, this stock, as you can see, has sort of support level right there at that white line around $19 per share. Now, that's where the stock was bouncing off August, September. It broke down, comes back and retests, can't rally. You get one last retest there in October. In fact, we sold short right there in my other service at like 18.45. And of course, it runs back over. So if you get a second attempt, this one may be a little late, but I'm just kind of want to walk you through what some of these look like. And it's not really rocket science. You're just looking at where is the stock being supported. And then once it gets down below that, look for it to retest there. Okay. So as you see, support, breaks through, retest, new low, retest, gets short, and then sells off into the low. All right. In phase is another one. This one I would take short pretty soon here. Same idea. All right. I bought this stock right back here a few months ago, and now to me it's a short. You got to be able to flip your script here. Well, look, made a big run up, support, breaks it. Now we're getting the retest. So now what is this? Now is a short entry. So I think in phase is short at $270 per share, looking for a move back down to at least a breakout level here of around 220. So I'm looking for at least a move of, 18, 20% and potentially a move back here into the meat around, 150, 160-ish area. So that's a little, we're going to do 5 stocks. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but that's a handful of stocks I like on the short side. Again, it's not really that difficult. And the tough thing about this is the best time to short stocks is when everybody thinks the market's turning around. Could this be the bottom of the market? It's possible. If it is the bottom of the market, a lot of these trades won't work out, which is why we're risking very little, which is why we're risking 5, 6, 7%. If you can't handle a couple of 5 or 6% losses, you may want to look into a different hobby. I'm willing to take a couple small losses if it tells me this is the bottom of the market and we're going to rally from here. But the last 4 or 5 times have not been the bottom. And this market is still selling off. We just made new lows a couple weeks ago. So I'm not ready to flip the script long yet. Until the market tells us otherwise, the path of least resistance is short. And these are some of the best opportunities to get short. So ENPH around $270. PRVA, I think it's a great short right here at 33. Celsius, CELH, I think it's a good short around $92, $93 a share. Lantheus, great short at $76, $77. NEP, short around $76, $77 per share. And TMDX, I think you can take it short right here as it's retesting the previous breakout level at around $49 a share. All right. So hope that helps. Listen, if you want to learn more about these, if you want to begin taking these trades, I do run a service called Stealth Trades. We have a $5 offer or $10, something crazy cheap. But every week I send out my 3 favorite trade ideas for that week. We also hold live sessions. We've been on here for about 15 minutes. We go for about an hour to an hour and a half live every single Monday. at 3 o'clock Eastern time. So 2 p.m. Central, noon for you West Coast guys. And we get together and we walk through what we see in the market. We walk through the best trading ideas for the week, just like we've done here, obviously in much more detail. We walk through our approach of buying stocks and selling stocks and what we're looking for and how to risk very little and how to get the highest probability trades and how to find the biggest, fastest movers without risking a lot of money. And I also look at your stocks. You all feed me tickers and we look at them and say, here's what we think of the stock. Here's where we buy. Here's where we'd sell. You might want to consider taking profits. I'd probably hold this one, whatever that the outlook may be for that stock. But we do that live every single Monday. So click the link in the bio, in the description down here to become a member of Stealth Trades. I think we have like a $5 offer. It's $10 or something crazy cheap for the entire year. We basically lose money on this, but we want to teach you what we're doing and help you become a better, more proficient, more profitable trader. So we hope to have you join us at Traders Agency with the Stealth Trade service. So thank you all. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, type them down in the comments and we'll be sure to get back and answer those for you.